happening, everybody? Good morning. Today is Monday, June 27th, 2022. My name is Jeremy. And this is my first cup. Definitely coffee. All right. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning to the rest of you, whether you're watching live later or listening. Thanks for coming by. Okay. So, the bird saga. Would you guys like an update on the bird saga? All right. So Saturday, cut away a bunch of grapevines. Made me sad, but in the process, I helped hang them up. I got them hung up a bit better. It looks nicer. I'm gonna have fewer grapes this year, but it's okay. I can live with it. Good morning, Gad. And I thought, all right, there's no place for this bird to perch. Maybe it will leave my windows alone. No. Same thing Sunday morning. I was up Sunday. I was out of bed at, I think it was like 5:10, and I dragged my blanket out to the couch and I slept for another 30 minutes. So I took a big step back from the problem and I said, all right, what do we need to do? What is the conflict here? I approached this in a very martial arts way. At least I think so. The bird can't handle the reflection. I want light to come through my windows. I said, all right, well, I've got to have something I can put on the windows that solves both of those. Oh, kitchen trash bags. I took 3 kitchen trash bags, slid them up the sides, taped them to the window frame, and some light comes in and there's no reflection. No bird this morning. Or I should rephrase that. No bird banging on the glass. Bird singing insanely. Yes, I've gotten to know this bird song over the last few weeks, and it's out there just having the time of his life, or time of its life. 4:45. I can tolerate bird singing. That I can let go. Oh, good morning, John. I want to know what you guys did this weekend. I want to know what you did, how you did, where you did. I'm going to talk a little bit about something that happened on Friday night. But the rest of the weekend I was working in the yard. I didn't even leave property yesterday. I was out there just smashing projects. I did so much stuff. It's Monday. Monday means a new episode of Martial Arts Radio. Can you tell I'm still a little groggy? I have so much sleep to catch up on. It's kind of insane. I feel I'm exhausted. Like I'm physically tired and not enough sleep to catch up. So maybe I'll go to bed at, I don't know, 3 p.m. Is that what I need to do to catch up? I wouldn't be able to handle that. That's too early. Oh, new show. You guys got to check this out if you have Hulu. The Old Man. Some actually decent fight choreography. Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow. It's awesome. And it looks like, from the camera angles, Jeff Bridges is doing some of his own fight work, which I think is pretty impressive. Here we go. Whistlekick. Podcast. Episodes. Current. What did we just have on? Is today Daryl? I think today is Daryl. Yeah. Daryl Belashinsky. Met Daryl very briefly at Terry Dow Symposium in April. And he came on. Great conversation. Oh, man, did I like talking with this guy. So you'll check it out. You'll enjoy it. You'll remember back to this moment and say, Jeremy was right. Gad suggesting things for the bird. Well, I don't feel like I need anything now. I think I've got this. I think it'll be okay. If you're suggesting instead of covering the windows, yeah, that's going to be problematic, but something with electric current. I don't know how I would cover the whole window with electricity in a way that I would trust it wouldn't set things on fire. To have open electricity, open current, that near plant material that could fall on it, that's a little riskier than I'm willing to undergo. Dennis says, now I've had the time of my life playing in my head. Anybody roughly my age? Never mind. We'll skip that. Jenny says, spent time with family while my sister and her family are visiting from Florida. I even went to a pool, and that's huge for me because I hate water. Interesting. And Dennis says, spent Saturday in Manhattan with 4 of my mirror coaches and a handful of other members. And yesterday, wait for it, cut the grass again. It's part of having grass. It's got to get cut. I was cutting grass yesterday and running the weed whacker and seeing frogs. I saw frogs. I like frogs. When I was a kid, I used to catch frogs and had this big old wash basin, like a huge metal-sided wash basin that was, the sides were tall enough for anything but the biggest frogs. They couldn't get out. And so I'd put water in it, some rocks. And my mother let me do this, but I'm actually just realizing this in this moment. She wouldn't let me keep the frog in there too long, just a few days, because I suspect she knew it wasn't going to get food in there. So I could have the frog in there. Had to let it go in a couple days, catch another frog. But I saw 3. One of them was quite big. It was a big frog, biggest frog I've probably seen here. Kelly went to a Renaissance fair with her daughter. I saw pictures from that. Looked like a lot of fun. What else? Did I do anything else? Took down the greenhouse, took down the hydroponics. I probably did, I'm going to guess, 20 plus hours of work in and around the house this weekend. Saturday, I started it. I was up early enough. Here, tell me if this is something that you guys ever have to do. I was planning out projects so I could start with ones that weren't loud. I wasn't going to go outside and run the weed whacker at 7:30. I live in the woods, but I do have neighbors that are close enough that they wouldn't appreciate that. So I didn't do that. Planted things, cut grass, dumped rocks, dug holes, filled in other holes, watered plants, which I don't need to do now because it's raining finally. All right, I want to talk about Friday because I've been trying to process this. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to be able to go through everything, but here's the short of it. I think I told you I was going to a game night at the gym. I realized the end of game night. All right, back up. We're all exposed to people that we don't like, people that we find to be frustrating or angering. There are qualities about some people. We just don't want to be around these people. Now, there is one of these people that I've worked really hard to be tolerant of because this person has one of my least favorite qualities. They act like they know everything about everything. They monopolize conversations. They constantly have to inject information to the conversation so that they can feel like everybody else looks at them and says, wow, this is the smartest person in the room. They know everything about everything. Problem is they don't, and they are constantly drawing connections that do not exist, misremembering things, or in some cases, just flat out lying. And I reached my threshold for that after the longest game night we've had. And I got really upset. And I said, hey, where are you getting this information from? Look it up. It doesn't exist. Oh, well, and that began about a 20-minute thing. And it was interesting because I don't do this. You guys know me. I don't do this. And I've spent a lot of time unpacking what happened because I got really upset. And I think one of my major takeaways is any of us can get really upset given the right circumstances. You know, we work hard to stay balanced. We work hard to not escalate situations. But in the end, I removed myself. Despite the final words that I heard being that I was told to educate myself on a subject that I very clearly knew at least as much. And I'm going to continue to process this. You know, there's some elements of this that I don't think are interesting from a martial arts perspective, but the one that I think most is, I've said before in the context of self-defense that teaching de-escalation is critical. More and more schools seem to be teaching de-escalation techniques. But there are times when what is holding you back from de-escalating or not creating a situation in the first place, because there would have been no situation if I had continued to hold my tongue. If I'd continued to allow this person to lie, whether with intention or not, there would have been no conflict. It takes two to create a conflict. But for whatever reason, the planets aligned. I was tired. I was far from being compromised to drive, but I'd had a little alcohol. End of the day. And I think we'd been sitting there for 3+ hours playing games. The games were fun. And I just got to a point. I said, you know what? I can't. And as I said something, I'm trying to grab the words back, and it just didn't happen. And it's been a long time since anything like that's happened with me. I'm glad it happened in that context because it gives me something to think about. And so I'm wondering about all of you. Do you analyze those situations? Not just for the, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, but to really, really dig in and understand why. And that's the big place I'm at right now. I'm trying to understand why it was so important to me. And I don't know yet. And I'm working on that. Because I think the better we understand who we are, the better everything else is. So that's it. That's it there. That was, I don't know if that made any sense. I'm still processing, so it may not have made lots of sense, but that's where we're at. I think unpacking these things is a critical step to our own development as people, as martial artists, however you want to look at it. And the more we do it, the less likely we are to be steered in directions that we do not want to go. Yeah. Now, Frank did send something over. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I have to refresh this page. What's going on today? A few meetings. I might go to Taekwondo. We'll see. It's been over a year. I would like to go visit. I'm really sore from the weekend. It's okay. Got to bring one of the cars in. Yeah, it's a boring day. I will say the rain, just hearing the rain with this temperature, this is such a summer thing for me. Just to sit and listen to the rain. For those of you who haven't been here, I have a metal roof, so you can hear it. Just it sounds so nice. All right, where's Frank's stuff? You guys are all being really quiet this morning, by the way. Maybe you're feeling a little sluggish as well. All right. Come on. Jenny says, I'm not sure if it was the same or similar for you in that situation, but I have been in situations where I have a hard time watching other folks, quote, buying into the lies. And I am compelled to interject the truth in hopes that we don't end up with ignorant people in the world. I feel like I'm doing harm by allowing the misinformation to spread. Yeah, I get that. Now, in this case, nothing that was being discussed was harmful because it was not information anybody could take action on. I just don't like when people make stuff up. I don't like when people talk about things that they don't understand. And in this case, we started with this person quoting numbers about something that were false, at least false based on every bit of data I had seen on the subject. And then later it turned into, well, one of the few things that I think really kind of triggers me, and this is where it got messy, misappropriation of the term Nazi. For those of you who don't know, I'm Jewish, born Jewish, raised Jewish, had a bar mitzvah. I don't like when people throw around the terms Nazi and Hitler where they don't belong. And I made an effort to explain why that was important. And I was met with dismissive shrugs and a complete lack of empathy. And that bothered me. So Mark says, come on, we should show kindness until it is time not to. And I'm the first one to admit I was upset. And there was a part of me that would have found some pleasure, some kind of dark pleasure in escalating the situation. I'm really glad I didn't. Not that I'm prone to doing that. I've never done that. I don't want to do that. But there was a voice in my head that was like, Gad says, I think people like that take advantage of our good nature just to let things go. Same as they count on others not to say anything when they litter, bully people, lie, take things that don't belong to them, etc. And if that happens too many times, of course you're going to say that's enough. There's only so much one can take. We don't need to tolerate such behavior. And Dennis says, social media makes experts of everyone on every topic. Yeah. The current social discussion, for example, most people are struggling to disconnect the process and the results. I know we're conflating the two, and it makes the discussions pointless. Yeah, I just arguing over things that don't matter. And I should have reminded myself that. Preventing this person from using the term Nazis in front of me to describe people who are not Nazis, that doesn't change anything, doesn't change the world. And it's a great example of me learning a little bit more about myself and something that I can work on. I should be able to handle people calling other people Nazis for no reason around me without getting upset. And so I'll work on that. Mark says, my father was a veteran of World War II, and some of the ignorance I have seen recently is intolerable. People are scared, they're frustrated, they're upset, and we all deal with it in different ways. I think this was some proof that some of the way the world is going right now is impacting me more than I expected, more than I thought. So, all right, where'd the Frank stuff go? Tomorrow, June 28th, Elon Musk turns 51. Man, that guy has accomplished so much. He's 8 years older than I am, not even 8 years older than I am. I have so much respect for Elon Musk. Forget about him in the news. Forget about him talking about things that have no bearing on it. His vision is incredible. So we got some quotes. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Does that sound like whistlekick to you? Because that's whistlekick. For me, it was never about money, but solving problems for the future of humanity. Also whistlekick. Trying to make money, trying to make a lot of money, because that gives us more opportunity to do more things, help the world. But it's not about money. If it was about money, we would sell cheaper gear. What else would we do? Oh, we would have ads on marshalljournal.com. That would be so easy. We would produce controversial content, like bear poking, troll feeding content. And number 3, people should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. I see a lot of myself in Elon Musk. I think we are very similar in our philosophical approach to a lot of things in the world, our passion for developing things. I've said many times that my best skill set is the ability to see things a little bit differently and develop business ideas and flesh them out. I shouldn't be the one running whistlekick. I should be the one figuring out what whistlekick does next. But we're too small for that. So I do what I got to do. Dennis says, Musk in 3 years, younger than me. You may have accomplished just a little more than me in a little less time. The guy doesn't sleep a lot. He is not concerned with things like his physical health. I get the impression he's probably doesn't have a lot of friends. He puts his time and energy into his work. And I think my favorite thing about him, you may not all know this, we often look at Elon Musk and just say, oh, he's the richest person in the world. Depends on how Amazon and Tesla stock is doing at the time. But people look at him just, oh, he's just, how did he get there? He got in on PayPal. He helped build PayPal. And when they sold PayPal to eBay, he ended up with, I think it was like $250 million, $200 million, something like that. And he invested it all in the other companies he had built. He invested all of it into Tesla and SpaceX and was the third Boring? I think the third might have been Boring Company. And he was broke. He put in so much that he was sleeping on somebody's couch. He went all in on himself. And I get that because that's what I've done. Jenny says, another thing I did this weekend was reconnect with a high school friend, and it was initiated by recent events. I think it is helping me bring closure to some things I've been hiding deep inside for years. Oh, that's awesome. I hate that it had to be such a traumatic event that triggered it, but I'm grateful to have some good come out of the chaos. I think we should always strive for that. You know, bad things are going to happen. Chaotic things are going to happen. All we can do is hope to pull some good from it. So I think that's great that you were able to do that. Good morning, Nathan. Dennis says, I'm more like a cat now. Long periods of sleep interrupted by nap breaks. Ha! There was a study here. I'll leave you with this. There was a study I read about years ago. I do not remember all of the specifics. See, this is the difference between me and this person from the weekend. I'm not going to just pull numbers if I don't remember numbers. I'm going to tell you, this is what I recall. I think it was in this ballpark because I'm trying to illustrate a concept, not give you a scientific results sheet. There was a study done about human sleep patterns if we removed people from societal influences, right? Who decided we needed 8 hours of sleep? Is there actual research that says we need 8 hours of sleep? No. In fact, most people need more. They don't think they do because their health is so compromised and they've slept so poorly for so long that they don't get it. And so this study attempted to shed some light on that, which is an ironic and accidental pun because the way they did that was they removed people from light, from natural light. If they were tired, they would turn the lights off. They were inside entirely. They would turn the lights off and go to bed. And what they found across the study, if I'm remembering correctly, was that the average person given without the external influences of natural light and life and everything, the average person was sleeping 10 hours. And if you look at it, other species sleep so much more as a percentage of day. Lions and tigers and everybody just sleeps. They sleep and they eat. The only reason that we spend the time that we do not sleeping is because food is plentiful and cheap and we've got other things that we want to do. We would be sleeping more. I only need 5 hours. You get by on 5 hours. There's a difference. So there we go. And thus, I approve of naps. I may take a nap later. Lay on the couch, kick out the footrest, tell the GOGLE devices to wake me up in 20 minutes, close my eyes, call it good. Quite helpful. Ooh. Jenny says, there's been research done showing that many folks living before electricity would sleep for a few hours and wake up in the middle of the night, stay awake for a few hours, go back to sleep until dawn, and they did fine. I wonder where that comes from. My suspicion is that is a pattern that shows up because of wood heat. That's my guess. Because it is a rare wood stove that you can get 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours of heat out of. But if you get in the habit of getting up after, it would probably be 4.5 hours, right? Sleep cycles are 90 minutes. 4.5 hours, feed the stove, go back to bed, wake up. I can see that. I don't know how they woke up. Well, I guess mechanical timers were around. It's not that hard to design. All right, I'm going to go. I hope you guys check out today's episode of Martial Arts Radio with Daryl Balashevsky, someone that we may see more of at an event. Just throwing that out there. If you want to support the show and all the things that we do to connect, educate, and entertain. Join the Patreon. We had another person join the Patreon over the weekend. Makes me so happy. I'm so thankful. Money aside, the fact that someone's willing to make that commitment means a great deal to me. $2 a month minimum. Goes up from there. Because this person came on at the $100 a month tier, this is enough now that we are likely to add another thing, because we've got the top tier, we've got the school owners mastermind. I want to do something for non-school owners. So I'm currently exploring that. You can also purchase something at whistlekick.com with the code FirstCup15. And if you are family, you should be checking out the family page at least once a week, whistlekick.com/family. If you have questions or comments, you can leave them on the Facebook page, facebook.com/firstcupwithjeremy. If you don't do Facebook, email me. Or if it's something you want to suggest privately, jeremy@whistlekick.com. First Cup is the only martial arts morning show. We go live 6:30 a.m. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Peace.